The 2024 election, a $10 billion opportunity. Are you ready to grab a slice of the presidential pie? The US elections come once every 4 years, and this one is set to be the most monumental yet. With the potential for billions of dollars in sales leading up to November 2024, the eyes of the world are watching, and there's a golden opportunity for creatives like you to make a mark and cash in on all of the hype. So whether you are Team Biden, Team Trump, or hey, just someone who loves making sales on both sides of the camp, with a little creativity, you can make the elections work in your favor. Intrigued? You should be. The potential for engagement and sales is through the roof. So let's head on over to my PC to get started. Let's go. Okay, so welcome to my computer screen. As you can see here, we are currently on ChatGPT. And one of the things that came to my mind was, what if we had to cross-niche the US elections with, popular quotes from 80s and 90s Hollywood films, just to see if we could create some funny designs that could be in favor or against either of the political parties, so that we are actually catering to both sides of the camp to increase the potential for making more sales. So I keyed in the following statement to ChatGPT: give me some iconic quotes from popular movies from the 1980s. For example, Terminator, I'll be back. I'd like at least 10. What I want to do is create an image of each presidential candidate in the role of the said movie character that said the popular quote. And ChatGPT came back to me with, and you can see we've got the Terminator here, Back to the Future, Top Gun, The Princess Bride, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I could have actually asked it to continue generating quotes in order to throw out a bigger net to gain some really amazing quotes that I could then take to an image generator program like Recraft and create some images. And in fact, that is what I did. Okay, so here we are on Recraft, and in a nutshell, I created a bunch of canvases in portrait layout 9:16 so that I could easily transpose these images onto a t-shirt canvas 4500 pixels by 5400 pixels, and obviously then be able to lay out text. Let's take a look at some of the prompts that I created. So to start off with, before I keyed in any prompts, I wanted to make sure that I chose rastered image. I made sure that the canvas size, you can see here, there's a blank one over here. I dragged it all the way up to 9:16. That way I would have a nice portrait layout. And then in terms of the tools, I wanted to make sure that I was on a rastered image photorealism. Now, Recraft has a ton of different tools, and you don't necessarily need to stick to the parameters that I said. You can try to experiment on any of the other options that Recraft offers. Try to create images that are going to help you stand out in the respective marketplaces so you can generate more sales for your business. But in this particular example, I selected photorealism and made sure that photorealism from the 6 choices was actually toggled, okay? And then obviously, as you can see here, we've got images of both Biden and Trump set up in a Ghostbusters outfit. And here I typed in a cartoon character of Joe Biden in the style of David Green, dressed in a Ghostbusters uniform from the classic 80s film. Now, many of you might ask, well, who is David Green? I basically went on to Google and I typed in popular caricature artists, and this gentleman's name came up. I sort of liked what style he created, so I keyed in his name in order to help guide Recraft in terms of what kind of style that I was looking for. And as you can see here, we got 3 really good images here of both Trump and Biden in a Ghostbusters outfit. Let me get rid of this here so that it won't be in our way. And the great thing about Recraft is that for every image that you generate, as you can see at the bottom here, it gives you 2 options that you can select. Okay, so that was the first one. This is the second one. And again, both are really good. If you don't like it, all you need to do is just click on the Recraft button and it will regenerate another 2 images. And you can continue doing it until you are given images that you are actually happy with. Now for the next 2, I'm wondering if you know from which movie these images came from. That's right, you guessed it, Back to the Future. Basically, it was a cartoon caricature of Donald Trump with orange hair in the style of Tom Richmond, dressed as Dr. Emmett Brown from the 80s film Back to the Future. And Recraft did come back to me with sort of like a suit that Donald Trump would normally wear. So in the next image, in the next canvas, I actually typed in wearing a lab coat so that I could get that sort of scientific look. And I was really happy with this one. The second one was quite good too as well. And I asked Recraft to come back to me with an enlightened look on the face of the character. In the next image, it was influenced by the movie Top Gun. So we had Donald Trump here wearing glasses, dressed in a flight suit, flight gloves, and flight boots, also wearing sunglasses from the 1986 movie Top Gun. And again, if you look at the other one, I sort of like the first one more than the second one. I could have re-rolled it, but this one, the fact that he was extending his first finger over here, I really liked the positioning, so I said I'm going to go with that one. Now, the next one obviously comes from the movie The Shining, with Jack Nicholson. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if we could create a caricature of Donald Trump as if he's coming out and saying, instead of "here's Johnny," we could say "here's Donnie." So that was something that, popped into my mind. I said, let's give it a try to see how it would go. What I didn't like was the fact that Recraft gave me this background. I could have typed in on a white plain background, but with Recraft we don't need to worry about it because you can remove the background in-house. All you need to do is click on the scissor icon, as you can see at the top. After I duplicated it, deleted the background, and now I had this image of Donald Trump acting as if he was the actor in The Shining with a plain transparent background. And the final image, as you can tell, what the influence was the Terminator. So once I had all of these images that I was happy with, the next thing that I wanted to do was to upscale them. Now, if you've been keeping tabs on my channel as of late, you will know that whenever I create an image on Recraft, I never upscale that original image. I always make a duplicate, because once you duplicate the image and you upscale it, you can't really change it. So I always like to keep an original copy, and then I create another copy and upscale that. I already went ahead and did that and actually dragged it onto the right side of the canvas. As you can see here, once they were upscaled, the images were really beautiful. I do tend to space them because when you actually upscale them, they do get larger, and it makes it a little bit difficult to try to download all of them. Alright, so as you can see here, there are my images upscaled, and then you can either just click on each of them and click on the export, which takes a little bit of time, or whilst holding the shift key, you can click on each one of them and you'll know they're all toggled because you see that border line surrounding all of them. Once you have them all toggled, all you need to do is just click on export, download them as a PNG, and you're good to go. Now, I've already done that, so I'm not going to export them now. The next stage is to take them into Canva to add a bit of text, to create some rocking designs for t-shirts, mugs, buttons, or basically any print-on-demand product that you would like to design for. Okay, so here we are on Canva, and what I did was I created a canvas of 4500 by 5400 pixels, and I effectively uploaded the graphics into Canva, and I basically started laying everything out. So I just wanted to show you what I created, just to give you a bit of inspiration and motivation to get onto Canva, get onto Recraft, basically get onto your computer and start creating some designs and uploading them to your respective print-on-demand business so that you can actually increase the chances of making more sales in the coming days and weeks. Remember, you want to make sure you get your designs early enough so that people who are supporting either of the candidates will be able to find the design, purchase it, and get it in time, obviously leading up to the November 2024 elections. Here's the first one with the Top Gun inspiration. I believe in the movie it says, "I feel the need for speed." So we changed it to "I feel the need for greatness." Because Donald Trump is always being heard as saying, let's make America great, so the need for greatness. And then obviously I just balanced it out by adding a few stars. You can see that the colors used are the colors of the Republican Party. If you're unsure what the hex codes for those, you can go on to schemecolor.com. Just type in Republican Party in the search field, and Schemecolor will provide you the hex code so you can go right ahead and utilize them. Now, the second one was the one pertaining to The Shining. Here's Donnie. And this one I took it from the perspective of a Democrat. So a Democratic supporter saying, oh my God, we don't want another 4 years of Donald Trump. We've got Donald Trump saying, here's Donnie, and then heaven forbid that should happen. Okay? But then you could actually change it. You could say, hey, Democrats, here's Donnie, and you can design from the perspective of a Republican. So there's potential in both ways with this particular graphic. It depends on how you want to go about it and what you would like to create. Now, the next one here was the influence from the Back to the Future movie. Democrats, this November, we won't need Democrats. You'll remember towards the end of the movie when Doc comes back from the future and he tells Marty that he and his girlfriend have to go back to the future with him. Marty effectively tells him, look, Doc, we need to gain 80 kilometers, so we need to back up on the road. Well, Doc tells him, Marty, where we're going, we won't need roads. So I took that quote, and instead of that, we wrote Democrats, this November, we won't need Democrats. As if it were obviously Donald Trump stating this, because from his perspective, he is going to win the elections. Okay, now the next one. This one is obviously pertaining to the Ghostbusters. This November, who are you going to vote? And again, I could have easily put in Biden's caricature, So instead of, who you're going to call, Ghostbusters, we're going to say, this November, who you're going to vote. So you're obviously taking a play on the quotation and creating an amazing design. And the last one here is with the inspiration from the Terminator. We have a caricature of Donald Trump with the glasses, very similar to Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first Terminator wearing the glasses. What I decided to do was I put in a red dot behind it and I put 47, which obviously is the number of the next president, whoever's elected. So taking it from the perspective of Trump, and obviously the words, "I'll be back." So that is the quote too as well, because obviously Donald Trump has been saying that, hey, in this election, he's going to be back. So this whole design exercise, from getting the quotations on ChatGPT to creating the graphics on Recraft and then exporting everything and laying everything out in Canva, did not take me longer than 35-40 minutes max. And that was just for a few designs. I could have gone down a rabbit hole and created a lot more. But I'm hoping that this video will inspire and motivate you to think outside of the box. We go onto a lot of these print-on-demand marketplaces like Amazon and Redbubble and TeePublic and whatnot, and we effectively see a lot of the same designs over and over and over again. And that can get monotonous, especially from the perspective of potential buyers. So by thinking outside of the box, trying to be a little creative, using quotes from movies, quotes from popular TV shows from any decade, it's going to allow you to step outside of the box and be a little bit more creative, and most importantly, to stand out amongst all of the other designs out there and really put yourself in a great position to capture a piece of the merchandise pie that inevitably has already started. Guys, people are already buying merchandise pertaining to the US election. So don't leave yourself on the back burner. Don't leave yourself on the curve wondering, in a few weeks' time saying, geez, you scratch your head and say, I wish I had done something when I had the opportunity. Don't procrastinate. Get in front of your computer. Access, these chatbots like ChatGPT and Google Gemini and whatnot. Brainstorm some ideas. Use videos like this as motivation and create your own unique designs that are going to help you land more sales in the coming days and weeks. So I certainly hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, hey, do me a favor, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, click on the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification icon. And now I want to invite you to click on the next thumbnail that has just appeared on your screen. Watch that, as it's another video bent on helping you to reach more success with your print-on-demand business. Thanks for watching. I'll see you there.